Page 54, Jazz Blast. There is a thing on page 55 for improvising. I'll get there, give me a minute. In jazz. And they give you some notes up there. Basically, it's a 5-finger position, sort of, with an E flat in the middle. And you're also going to use a B flat. Those notes, you get to use those notes, and you can just make something up using those notes. I don't teach improvising, and I don't teach jazz, so I can't really get into that too. I'm not comfortable with it. There are many other channels and videos on YouTube that do touch on improvising and jazz and so forth. I encourage you to go look those up if you're interested. I want to talk about page 54 now. Now there's a thing at the top of warm-up, they say imitate the teacher. How do I say this gently? I disagree with that. Don't imitate anybody. Learn to do it yourself. I mean, it's nice, you're going to hear people and you'll pick up things from them, but don't just copy them. Well, play it for me and then I'll get it. Read the music and figure it out yourself, and then listen to them and compare afterward. So I don't agree with imitate the teacher. I'm not going to cover that. Let's talk about Jazz Blast. 4/4 time, there's no sharps or flats in the key signature, but we got all kinds of accidentals here. This right hand first. You're starting out in this position, but you have an E flat. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and. So 1 and 2 and. Second measure. 1 and 2 and. And both of those notes are tied. You just hang on to them for the rest of the measure. So again, second measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then you go on. You cross over to B flat, 1, leave your thumb where it is. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and rest and. That's really the rhythm pretty much through the whole thing. Once you get that, let's go down to the last line. And the third measure where you come in, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and rest and. Like so, it's a C minor chord. It's like a C chord, but to make a chord minor, you simply lower the middle note. Unless it's already lowered, in which case it's already minor. Don't lower it again. Don't get carried away with the lowering. Okay. Left hand. Here, not a lot going on in the left hand. That whole note is tied to another whole note, so you're going to hold it down for a whole bunch of whole notes, or at least 2 of them. Second line, third measure, it's F sharp. And the last line, you got 1, rest, rest, use second finger again. You have a rest, you can do it. Rest, 2, 1. And then come up, third finger, you just, during the rest, you move up. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Put the hands together. Slowly. 1, 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and rest and. Notice it's a rest in the right hand but not the left. So for the last beat, it's left hand by itself. Cool, huh? No? Well, whatever. And then let's go down to the last line. That's the tricky one. You're here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and rest. Well, when you can do that and the beat is steady and you're getting it okay, then add this articulation. Nice light wrist action here. Accent on that. Bum, bum, bum. So it's a syncopated note. You're playing it sooner than you think. We expect. That's what we want, but we're hearing it sooner. And when we do that, typically we'll just accent it. I mean, the music wouldn't even have to have an accent. We just accent it anyway. And then legato. I have one staccato in there. Now, technically speaking, they don't give you any slurs or anything here. So if you wanted to play some of that staccato, you could. They leave it wide open, in which case it's up to you how you want to play it. But that one, they do give you staccato. Now here I could play it on that one because there's no slur there. So it's up to me. So I could slur it if I wanted to, or I could separate it. Maybe one time I'll do it one way and another time I'll do it another. The idea is if they don't give you a slur or a staccato, it's up to you on how you want to interpret it. Most of the time, especially when you're first learning it, go ahead and just play it legato. That makes sure we get the fingering like we want it. So I'm going to go ahead and play them legato as though they're slurred if there's nothing there. So second line is similar to the first. Let's go down to the last line here. Remember, we're doing articulation here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, accent. Ba-yump. Like so. The dynamics. Well, it's loud. That's the right hint. Whatever loud is to you. That makes that very loud. And you're staying loud pretty much for the first two lines, and the last line come down to sort of soft and gradually go up to loud again in the third measure. So a little louder, louder, loud. Now you're loud here. And you have an accent on the last one, so it's, give it there. Speed-wise, fast with zip. Well, I'll talk about the zip in a minute. Let's work on fast. It's the flow of the piece. This is a fun piece. So you have to decide on the speed. You have to be able to play it accurately, all the right notes and rhythms, and all the articulation like you want it. So don't go too fast. The last line fast. Like so. Now let's work on the zip part. In jazz, swing, and blues, these are different genres of music, different styles of music, different types of music. Those three, swing, jazz, and blues. They don't have to be in that order, I just whatever. It is a standard style of playing and interpreting that music for eighth notes. To swing the eighth notes. That means you play the eighth notes long, short. There's no musical notation for it. It's a felt thing. And you just automatically do it. If the composer or arranger wants those eighth notes straight, even, they have to put in a note, play evenly or something. Otherwise, you're just automatically going to swing the eighth notes. Only the eighth notes. So the counting, instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3. You swing the counting. And just the eighth note. So it's at the beginning 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and it doesn't. You can't really tell too much on the first two lines. Go down to the last line here where you got a bunch of eighth notes, and you'll be able to tell more. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. See, bum ba bum ba bum ba bum, and you feel this. It's not a dotted rhythm. It's not a triplet rhythm. You feel it. Because all of your short notes may not be the same shortness. Huh? And to really do a jazz piece like that, or a blues piece or swing, you need to do that. And I'm going to do it. It's just part of the music. I'd like to play this with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm going to do the articulation. I'm not going to do the dynamics. And I am going to swing the eighth notes. We're going to do them long, short. So I'll give us 4 counts. Let's do it together. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and rest and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and rest and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. there's a duet part at the bottom for this. I'd like to do that. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Now let's play this together. I need you to go up an octave again, because then we're in each other's way. So just pretend middle C goes up here and do it all up here. So I'll give us 4 counts. Let's try it. 1, 2, and ready, and go. And four.